I don't want to get outbid by Howie Roseman. And the latest Lions rumors here suggest that they're going to be looking at Mike McDaniel as OC. Same with Brian Daboll. They're always going all in free agency and in trades and offseason moves. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Lions OC search, the latest rumors there, and it's kind of good and a little bit worrisome on that front. We're also going to get into mock draft roundup. Amon-Ra St. Brown speaks to the media and more. But before we get into today's video, if you think it's a smart and sound idea to walk up to P. Diddy with Vaseline and say, hey, come on in, go ahead and subscribe to my channel because we talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. Sometimes being a Lions fan, you get pushed over. Also, take that like button with you and let that bad boy slide. Let's get into today's Lions rumors. All right, folks, let's get into it here right now. We'll get into the quick one here. Former Lions quarterback wants to be team's OC. That is Dan Orlovsky. He says, I would love it very much. So in Detroit, Orlovsky said to Pat McAfee, I love that place. I love the organization. I love a lot of those people there. I love Jared Goff. I'm a huge Jared Goff guy. I love Dan Orlovsky on ESPN. But not as Lions OC. We need to have somebody that has done it, who has called plays before, a play caller. That is the problem. We need somebody that has called plays. I think it could be good ideas to always bring in former players or somebody like that was ties to the organization, like a Dan Orlovsky, maybe as an assistant to the quarterback's coach. You got to get coaching in first. These guys haven't coached. They haven't went through what you need to go through. You don't go from nothing to calling plays with an elite offensive talent. We're trying to win now. Go all in and get it done. Who do you want as Lions OC? Maybe it's someone completely different than what I want. Hey, it is what it is. Let's get into it here with St. Brown. But he said that he is using motivation here for not being in the playoffs as it hurts, but we didn't do enough. We didn't make enough plays and win enough games. We don't deserve to be in the playoffs, he said. Just the way it is. We didn't do enough. So hopefully it does sting. The thing for us, we got back in here in the offseason workouts, training camp, even more hungrier. I got to tell you what. I think there is something to this too. And I want you guys to give me your thoughts on this. I'm not saying this is the reason, but I think this is something that does wear on players. When you're constantly in the playoffs, in the postseason, that's more games that's on your body. And so I think after a while, it does wear on you. It does wear down on the players. You look at teams like the Kansas City Chiefs that are always in the playoffs. And at some point, when you're putting in more work than the rest of the league, I think that does tire you out a little bit. That's just my personal belief system. Maybe it's not much. Given that the Lions, they've been in the postseason the last couple of years, now they're out a little bit earlier, they could be a little bit more refreshed, right, for the up-and-coming season. You have a fourth-place schedule. Your body's a little bit more refreshed. You're a little bit more motivated. I think that does help. Even if it's a minor bit, even if it's like 2%, hey, we take all the percent that we want. Let's get into the main topic of this video. That's why you guys are here. Jeff Darlington, the latest on a few offensive coordinator openings around the NFL. Watch for interest in Daboll and McDaniel in Philadelphia, but don't count out McDaniel elsewhere. If head coaching jobs don't line up, he very much likes the idea of a few other OC jobs too. I'm going to assume one of those are the Lions. That's good, but the bad part is Howie Roseman and the Eagles have their eyes on Mike McDaniel. That scares me because he goes all in every time. When he wants something, he goes and gets it. He tried to trade for Myles Garrett. He always makes trade that Jalen Phillips. He's always making moves, switching out OCs. I really like Howie Roseman as a general manager. To me, he's probably the top two in the NFL. and he seems to be outdoing us every time. Brad Holmes. Please, Sheila Fordham, please. Not this time. Look at Philadelphia. They're always trying to get a Super Bowl ring. They're always trying to improve. Let's not them beat us on this part. We have money. This is not an issue with cap. You don't have a cap for coaches. He is a genius at OC. Yes, he's not within the organization. But do you want him going to Philadelphia? And they have great amount of weapons as well. Saquon Barkley. He's a pretty good back. I'm sure they're going to invest in the offensive line. Devonta Smith. Their defense is amazing. This is a team we would have to face in the playoffs multiple times. I really don't want this to happen, him going to the Philadelphia Eagles. That scares me. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I feel like I feel like we get outbid every time. That's my opinion. I want the Lions to be aggressive. You know, there's not a lot of news going on besides the OC, and that's why you're seeing a lot of OC videos. But it's not just the fact there's not a lot of news. This is probably the most important offseason decision for the Lions here, is to get this right. We don't have much time. Our window is closing in regards to the youth of some of these players like St. Brown, Penei Sewell. We can't just make the playoffs to be good. Attempt to get a Super Bowl. Bring in the best talented coach to help us do so. If there is a chance, if he doesn't get a head coaching job and he goes to Philadelphia, it is going to be a salty day for Lions fans. And at least for me. Because in my opinion, then we didn't go all in. We didn't try our best. And if you're trying to win a Super Bowl, you do everything possible to do that. You're telling me that Mike McDaniel is not looking at the Lions offense as one of those teams he would be OC for. Of course he's interested. Who wouldn't be? This is a top 2 offense. And we had John Morton as our OC with Dan Campbell calling plays halfway through it. We can't allow that. So many opportunities in the last couple of years we have lost on. Not this time. Go get him. And don't allow him to go to Philadelphia. You're killing 2 stones with 1 bird. You better your team, and it doesn't better their team. We're not just competing in the NFC North. We are competing in the NFC itself. We need to think not just being a good team, but getting championships. Dan Campbell said, wide search for OC leaves some Detroit Lions fans worried with the name Arthur Smith. And this is another one that's interviewing for the job, is Arthur Smith. I'm not a big fan of this. I got to keep it a buck. Team to team to team. I'm not a big fan of this. Yeah, he's been a head coach, OC. It's not dynamic. We have dynamic players. Let's not get plan D from Goodwill Hunting. Go out there and get the best. He's not the best, man. He's not. I got to keep it a buck. I would rather go a Mike Kafka over Arthur Smith. Mike Kafka is my number 2 option. His offense was good when he was OC and when he was interim coach. And he's young. And he really destroyed the Lions defense when they came here. I would rather go that route than Arthur Smith. Even though he has experience, it's not the great experience. It's not the best. So I understand they're going to interview a lot of people, and that's what you got to do. You got to do your due diligence. You telling me you take Arthur Smith over Mike McDaniel? That's a downgrade. It's upgrade over John Morton. Okay. I mean, John Morton was terrible. Come on, let's go out there and get the guys that we need to get. Mock draft roundup here. It's the same names that we've been seeing, and this is going to continue, guys. The Lions, I'd say 95% chance that first pick, whether it be 17, if they trade up or down, whatever, is a tackle. And you're seeing it here. Francis Mowaga. I destroy his name. I don't know if he'll be there at 17. This is my number 1 rated lineman for the Lions. I think he fits perfectly. I would love for him to be there at 17. I don't think he'll be there at 17. If he is, that is one of those things where you walk up to the podium and you put the card in. He's an amazing, and we get to watch him on Monday. So that's going to be epic. We got Spencer Fano. He'll be there at 17. He is definitely a tackle, left and right. So if they're wanting to do that, I would prefer a different tackle, a Caden Proctor, but this is a consolation prize. You don't know how the draft is going to go, too. If tackles get taken earlier, if they don't. We hope they don't. But it's not a bad option if Proctor is gone and Francis Mowaga gone. I'm not cool with... look, I know Vega is, first off, he's a great guard. Secondly, epic name. I don't think the Lions taking a guard. Why would you take a guard? We do have we have two guards battling out, Mahogany and Miles Frazier, who could be a guard or a tackle at some point. Then you have Ratledge. I think the guard, we have the ability to get a guard in the draft, but you don't have to spend the first pick. You got to go tackle. Tackle. That's got to be the option right there. And then you got Caden Proctor, Alabama. Perfect right there. And then Caleb Lomu as well. Consolation prizes. You notice tackle. The guard, it's hard for me to see the Lions going guard because we need a tackle. There's a want versus a need, and a tackle is a need. A need, it's not a want. You have to have it. Or Jared Goff's going to get destroyed. So give me your thoughts in the comments. Adios.